Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 4 Poverty of Indian Economic Development, class 12 Economics. Starting with the chapter poverty, I believe that poverty is a fairly easy chapter because of the fact that the points are really easy to grasp, and I hope I'm able to cover the whole NCRT in in points so that it becomes easier for you to learn the answers and to make sure that you write the proper answers in your boards. So, starting with this topic, firstly, the topic that we have is introduction 4.1, which is introduction, and there's not much in introduction. The only thing that you need to know is the question that is written here on the screen, which is why is poverty a challenge? And the answer to which is it has two dimensions. Firstly, you need to tell why poverty is a challenge in India. Secondly, you need to tell why is poverty a challenge globally. So the first point that we cover here is that poverty is a challenge because in India around 20% poor reside. So of the total poor that reside in the whole world, approximately 1/5 of those or 20% of those are the ones who reside in India. Just a second. The ones who reside in India. Secondly, the another dimension to this answer is the poor that reside globally are 300 million. So 300 million total people are the ones who are not able to make their basic amenities. So these are the ones who are not able to meet their basic amenities. So these 2 points are the answer to this question, why is poverty a challenge. So starting with the topic 4.2, which is who are the poor. So it's an easy topic because all you need to learn is the characteristics of a poor, which is like, what is a poor? So first point is, in this topic we are only discussing the characteristics of a poor. So just be sure that you're mentioning whenever a question comes like, why did I write what is a poor? I'm so sorry. Who are the poor? Yeah, okay. So the characteristics of a poor will be discussed in this topic, and only characteristics, and we have here 8 points. So firstly we classify them as whom. So in home part we write that the poor people possess few assets, which means that they reside mostly in kacha hutments with walls made of baked mud and roofs made of grass, and then bamboo and wood is what the hutment made of. And then the poorest of them do not even have such dwellings. So there are poor who do not even have such dwellings. So this is what you write in the home part. Secondly, we talk about food. So you mentioned that poor are the ones who do not even get 2 meals a day. This chapter can be really saddening, I swear, because there are a lot of points and like stuff that will make you honestly feel very sad and gloomy about the whole situation, but it is how it is, and I think we'll have to deal with it. So yes, food. So poor are the ones who cannot even afford to have 2 meals a day, so they cannot afford. And starvation and hunger are the key features. Starvation and hunger are the key features to the poorest households. Thirdly, we have education. So they lack basic literacy. They lack literacy, even the basic literacy, and that is why they have limited opportunities, limited economic opportunities. And that is why they face unemployment. Then we have the fourth point, which is health. So in health you will write malnutrition is really high amongst the poor. Malnutrition is high among the poor. Then the fifth point is so in health you can also write that they have ill health or disability or serious illness which makes them physically weak. Then you can also write in electricity and water that most poor households do not have access to electricity, and their primary cooking fuel is firewood. So when it comes to food you can also add that that they mostly make their food on firewood and coal and dung cake and all of that, and they do not have access to safe drinking water. They do not get access to. And then they mostly face gender inequality because the women of the poorest households are not treated well, and that is why there is a huge gender gap. And mostly this gender inequality leads to what is called the fact that there's no gainful employment and no decision making of women in the family. So women have no say mostly, and they do not even gain employment, and they can't even take decisions or have a say in the decisions of the family. This is what gender inequality sounds like in a poor household. And also they face exploitation by money lenders. They face immense exploitation by money lenders. And eighth is a point again for women, but I believe that this can be a really important question, that what kind of problems do women face, like one marker as well, that what kind of problems do women face in the poorest of the households. So what you so that is why I've made it a separate point altogether. So yeah, poor women receive less care on their way to motherhood. I'll just write in during motherhood. And that their children are less likely to survive. So they're less likely to survive. So these are the 8 points that you need for a characteristics of the poor. Be thorough with these points because they're fairly easy. And what you can do is to learn them, you can learn them through graphics. So you can make a home here, and then you'll always remember that the first point we had was something related to a home. And then you can make food here, probably a food basket or something, and then like stuff all together. And then you can make, for education you can make a notebook. I believe graphics play a very important role when you're learning, because our human mind is has a tendency to it is the visual appeals to human mind. So I think that these visuals and graphics can really help. For health you could probably make an injection or something, or like whatever you feel like, or electricity, water. I think this is going to really help you. So I'll just highlight the graphics as well. So the first point we had was home, and second we had was food, third that we had was education, fourth that we had was health, fifth was electricity and water, and that they do not even have basic drinking safe drinking water, and that there's a lot of gender inequality, that there's exploitation by money lenders, and because they're already in debt and because they're facing high rates of interest, these money lenders take advantage of the situation and make them go even worse by exploiting them and asking for more interest rates. So this is how exploitation by money lenders happens. And the 8th point is that even the women of poorest households are not taken care of during motherhood, and their children are less likely to survive. So this is all about the characteristics of the poor. Now the next topic that we have is how are poor people identified. But before that, we need to be clear about how do we classify poor. So first of all, we must know that poor are identified, as economists suggest, that poor are identified on the basis of two things. Firstly, so these are the only parameters that the economists take in view while they identify the poor. So firstly, it is their occupation, and secondly, it is the ownership of their assets. And this is also a very important question that I'll write here, is that who suggests that poor are identified on the basis of on the basis of their occupation and ownership of assets? So the answer is economist. And you must always know that, because in a school's pre-board exam, I guess, this question had come up, that who suggests, and they had given up different answer. The MCQ went like, A option was something like National Sample Survey Organization, and like different organization names. So the student mostly feels that there must be an organization which has identified this whole criteria, but the reality is that the economist was the real answer. So just take a note here. And then so according to this, the economists have also now classified what are known as the rural poor and the urban poor. So when it comes to the rural poor, the examples go ahead like landless agricultural laborers, secondly cultivators of very small land holdings. Then third is landless laborers engaged in variety of non-agricultural jobs. So landless laborers engaged in non-agricultural jobs. And the fourth is tenant cultivators with small holdings. So I think how I'll make it easy for you is the fact that we have words repeated here: landless laborers, and then we have landless laborers engaged in non-agricultural jobs. Then again we have cultivators with small holdings and tenant cultivators with small holdings. So this is how you can remember. You just need to remember two words: landless laborers and cultivators with small holdings, and I think that would get you going. Now coming to urban poor, the urban poor example that have been given by economists are push cart vendors, street cobblers, and women who string flowers, and rag pickers, beggars, and etc. So these are a few that have been classified as the urban poor. So now coming to the topic, how are poor identified? It's an important topic because a lot of questions are asked from here. So 1.3, how are poor identified? Firstly, we need to know that there are a lot of people who tried to identify poor, and the person who was very much notable for trying to identify the poor was Dadabhai Naoroji. We've heard about him in the first chapter also. So Dadabhai Naoroji came up with jail cost of living. So the thing that he had worked on was jail cost of living, and it's interesting how he worked on this. So let's see, the first point that we have here is what did he use to come up with this topic, to come up with this whole theory of jail cost of living. So what did he use was two things. First was the menu for prisoners. जो जेल में होते हैं लोग, प्रिजनर्स, उनका जो मेन्यू था उन्होंने वो यूज़ किया. और सेकेंडली उन्होंने क्या यूज़ किया कि जो अभी प्राइसेस प्रिवेल कर रहे हैं, तो अप्रोप्रिएट प्रिवेलिंग प्राइसेस. These are the two things that he used. And then what he did was कि उन्होंने बोला कि but the problem that he was facing when he used both of them was कि normally तो prison में सिर्फ adult लोग जाते हैं, तो how do we come up with poor who are also the children who are also part of the poor. So इसलिए उन्होंने क्या किया, उन्होंने बोला कि let's just adjust it. और उन्होंने बोला कि we'll assume. So he assumed that of the whole population 1/3 were children, so we are left with 2/3 were adults. Then he again assumed that because we also know that अब जो children हैं out of 1 to 10 years की age में, जो 1 year के या 2 year के होते हैं, they normally do not eat anything, and even if 3 years के 4 years के कुछ खाते भी होंगे, so it's almost negligible to what the adults eat. So to compromise that as well and to adjust it, what he did was classified children also on the basis of their consumption capacity. So what he did was this, he said that half of these children, so half of children, so children are 1/3, right? So half of these children, which makes it 1/6, are the ones who consumed very little. So they consumed very little, almost negligible. And the other half, so other half of 1/3, which makes it 1/6 again, are the ones who consumed half of the adult diet. So if adult is a 2/3, this is what it is. They eat half of the adult diet. So here we have 1/6 and 1/6. Now the other 2/3, they said that they had the full diet. So so then he came up with the whole formula, which goes something like that 1/6 of nil. Here it is nil. Very little, eating very little means eating nil. So 1/6 of nil plus 1/6 of half. Now why half? The parameter that we're taking here is adults consumption capacity. So in comparison to adults capacity, this whole part of population eats nil amount of food. This whole part of population eats half of the adult capacity, and this part of population eats full adult capacity. That is why talking about this population, we consider here nil. Talking about this population, because they eat half of the consumption capacity of the adult, that is why we have mentioned 1/6 here. And coming to this one, 2/3 of full adult consumption capacity, he came up with 3/4 of full. When you will solve it, you will come up with 3/4 of full. If you want me to solve it, it goes something like so 1/6 of 0, because it's nil, and then 1/6 of half of adult capacity. Let's just assume AC as adult capacity, and 2/3 of adult capacity. So it goes something like 12 of AC plus 2/3 of AC, which makes it into 4, right? So it makes it 9/12 of AC, which makes it 3/4 of full here meaning full AC or adult consumption capacity. So this is how he came up with the jail cost of living. So this is called the weighted average. You must remember that he used the concept of weighted average. Weighted average का मतलब होता है कि they give स्पेशल वेट टू स्पेशल पीपल. कि मतलब अगर मतलब एक तो होता है एवरेज यूज़ करना विच इज़ इक्वल टू ऑल, कि मतलब women are eating alike, men are eating alike, and that is why it is not weighted average, it is normal average. बट when it is weighted average we assume something कि women half eat कर रही है, men ज़्यादा eat कर रहे हैं, तो women का हम 1/2 करेंगे और men का into 2 करेंगे. This is what is weighted average. Yeah, so this is until we have discussed yeah. So weighted average, and then which gives the average poverty line. So here we come up with the average poverty line is this 3/4 of full. So after Dadabhai Naoroji, a lot of other people had tried to come up with new concepts of poverty line. So we have this is an important question because it was a part of the sample paper CBSE sample paper 2019 to 2020. So the question was actually a not fill in the blank, match the following. Yeah, so it was something like in 1962 में, which 1962, 1979, 1989 and 2005. These were the 4 years, and we had to match कि कौन से लोग had come up with their theory of poverty line in the following years. So आप इसको याद कर लीजिए while I am teaching you. So 1962 we have Planning Commission. इसने भी ट्राई करा था पावर्टी लाइन का बनाने का. उन्होंने आइडेंटिफाई करने का कोशिश किया था कि कितने लोग एक्चुअली पुअर है कंट्री में. देन सेकेंडली 1979 में टास्क फोर्स ऑन प्रोजेक्शन ऑफ मिनिमम नीड्स एंड इफेक्टिव कंजम्पशन डिमांड. आई नो इट्स अ ह्यूज नेम और मोस्ट चांसेस है कि आपसे पूछा नहीं जाएगा, बट जस्ट इन केस आई बिलीव इसको याद कर लो. सो इट वॉज समथिंग लाइक टास्क फोर्स ऑन प्रोजेक्शंस ऑफ. सो टास्क फोर्स ऑन प्रोजेक्शन ऑफ minimum needs and effective consumption demand. So we have four words here, and then 3 fillers. So task force on projection of minimum needs and effective consumption demand. And now we had expert groups in 1989 and 2005 which had also tried to come up with the trial of identifying the poor. So this is it, and I think I'll be discussing the rest of the chapter in the following videos, and it was enough for this video, and we're left with a fair amount of chapter. So please like, share and comment, and stay tuned so that we can complete the chapter with proper explanation and everything. And if there's any doubt or if there's any need for explanation that you want me to do, or if there's any specific topic that you felt like was not clear to you, I will make sure that it is clear, and leave your feedback in comments below. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and like. Thank you so much.